Hi. Sorry. The squirrel that keeps plopping down on our back porch was out. We had to look at him.
He's a plopper. I mean, he's a regular...
He just pancakes out there.
He pancakes.
He's so cute.
The other day, he was out there for hours, just like completely...
Is it the photo on your Instagram?
I mean, that's
that squirrel.
It's that squirrel.
Mm-hmm.
That squirrel goes out on the banister and just goes, and then eventually he just rests there, and I'm like, how nice. How nice that he's chosen to seek refuge in our home.
Not in.
Well, at our in would be very different. And he does it. Sometimes he does it on the banister. Sometimes he just does it on the porch. But he'll just I'll walk by and he'll be there. I'll walk by again and he hasn't moved, and I'm like, okay, sure. That's where he wants to chill. Does he do this after having a big bird feeder snack? So he must be very perturbed because the feeder that we use is the Squirrel Buster. So once it has enough weight, it shifts downward to block the access. So only birds can eat from the feeder. If a squirrel gets on the feeder, it closes and the squirrel can't get into it.
He might get stuff from the ground because those woodpeckers just throw everything
Woodpeckers
out.
are just like, they're going crazy. I think they want one specific seed in there.
Yeah.
And they're willing to just throw. So the squirrels are always around, probably eating off of the ground. Mm-hmm. But they know that it's coming from that. And I've watched them climb up there so many times and been like, what the heck, man?
There's scratches all over the outside of the Squirrel Buster from them.
Yeah. So.
No, it's not the one that spins.
No, it doesn't spin.
It has this inner part and this outer metal shell, mm-hmm. and then the inner part's on a weight, or one of them's on a weight, so the spring closes it.
Yeah. So birds can't trigger it. Even for birds.
Those big woodpeckers, though, that we get, those guys half close it.
Yeah. When a woodpecker comes by, every other bird leaves. And it's so funny. Yesterday, we sat there and watched the birds for 10 or 15 minutes because it was hilarious. There was there had to have been 6 or 7 birds just all over, just hanging out, having a little party.
There was 3 male cardinals.
And then a woodpecker came, and all the other birds left the feeder and just sat on the banister watching this woodpecker eat the seed. All right, man.
Your turn, I guess.
When you're done. And then as soon as the woodpecker left, all of the birds just went back up to the feeder. So the feeder will hold 4 birds, and 4 of them went up there and just started eating again. I was like...
You finally get to see a hummingbird, too.
Finally. Been waiting to see a hummingbird. So, I guess you could say the woodpecker was a bit peckish. Yeah! Anyway, again, I want them outside, but I like birds.
We've been feeding them for a long time, since Blue Wall House.
Mm-hmm. We've never lived at a place that had this many birds, though.
Yeah.
This house...
Blue Wall House had a lot. They had smaller birds, though.
We've got so many birds.
Yeah.
There's so many of them. And they're fun to... I mean, sometimes they're just it's cute. But then sometimes they're just really entertaining to watch. And then you get the little pancake squirrel out there.
One of the reasons I want to move the TV to the other wall is if we put cat tree in the window... Then I can put the bird feeders off the other side. Right by the window there. Yeah.
So the cats can just...
See easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we wouldn't get any more birds.
It hasn't stopped them before.
If the feeder was that close to the window, they might be like, those are cats. Anyway, yeah, that sounds good. Anyway, hi everybody. How you doing? Hope you're doing good. Hope you enjoy this snack.
Fulfill your deepest desires with Tiny Eddie's Pop Rocks infused rabbit gelato.
You know, my favorite kind of gelato is full of rabies. That was Mr. Danny says, a snack for my last stream before I go back to the cruise ship. Hoping my bosses this time around will make the contract less stressful than the last.
Hope so.
Yeah, I hope you have another good, what's the proper word? Voyage?
Yeah.
That's a good word for it. We don't get to use the word voyage in normal everyday life. I mean, we could force it. We could be like, I'm taking a voyage to Walmart, but it's not really appropriate. Anyway,
I mean, it's appropriate with a cruise ship to say bon voyage.
Yes. It works well with the ship. Danny, I do, but my life is very specific. Gelato sounds good. I don't know if you can get gelato on the ship. You probably stop at the place and you get a gelato somewhere. They got gelato off of ships. Not good gelato. Fair. Well, I hope you enjoy this breakfast stream. We'll make it at least 20% more entertaining.
Crank up that dial.
This is really... That's me turning it up. It goes to 11. We got 34 months from Bubba, 1995 MV, 58 from Blaze Bunny, 17 from Riku in Twilight. Vagabond gifted a sub to Malier. Our poll this morning was favorite cardinal direction. A hotly debated topic. 47% said north, 11% said south, 29% said east, and 13% said west. It feels like north would win, just because the North Star. We don't have stars for the other ones.
No.
So we don't say follow the West Star. I think that's why. Kind of surprised that South did as poorly as it did. South did the least. I guess people chose East because they were like, coast. Southern Cross. Southern Cross is we have North Star at home. Yeah, it's not surprising that we'd have higher East than West here. The show is very early for West Coasters. So. South is too hot. What? The high today is only 90 degrees. It's May.
Last May was really nice. Because all my bike rides from last year were like, wow, the weather's great.
Yeah. Sorry. Didn't you say it's going to get cool one of these
Tomorrow.
days? The high tomorrow is only 79, and then the high the day after that is only 80.
When I checked it the other day, it was only supposed to be 68 tomorrow.
Oh, honey, that's different.
I know.
Now the low is 67. It's actually going to be... Oh, it's because it's going to rain for a week straight.
Good, we need it.
That's what's happening. I was like, oh, it basically is hovering around a high of 80-ish for an entire week, and then I looked and it's like, it's because it's just going to not stop raining. It is... I think it is really weird to have hot rain.
rain.
I mean, it's a weird feeling to be outside. It's weird when it rains in the day, right? Whenever it's like, it's bright outside, but it's raining. And it's also weird when it is 80, 90 degrees outside, but there's still rain happening, because you associate rain with being cool. But if it's already super hot, it doesn't matter. So then it starts to rain, and you walk outside, and you're like, oh, it's raining, but I'm sweating? What's happening? Anyway, Southeast U.S. We got 46 months from Sacadamus, 91 from Renee, 92 from Cobalt Custard, 29 from Garth on the 6th, 78 from Zelda Master, 92 from Wasprig, 85 from Shy, 90 from Giozak, 76 from Jackson Lee Gaming, and a snack.
The last word in Moody Food, Tiny Eddie's Filthy Emu Fluffies.
You filthy emu. From Rico and Twilight, hey Tiny Eddie, can you give me something to feed the pancake squirrel so he leaves the feeder alone? I don't think a squirrel would eat an emu. They don't eat they don't eat meat at all, do they?
I don't know.
I don't know enough about squirrels. I don't think they eat any. Let me find out.
Squirrel diet.
What does a squirrel eat? Nuts, seeds, conifer cones, fruits, fungi, and green vegetation. Primarily herbivores. Does a squirrel ever eat meat? Squirrels can consume meat when faced with hunger. They have been known to eat small birds, young snakes, smaller rodents, as well as bird eggs and insects. So it's not typical. It's not typical, but if they're...
They did eat all of my cilantro.
But if they hungry, they, you know... They can do it.
Small birds like emus.
Now hear me out. What if squirrels got real big? If there was a big squirrel, the emu would feel very small. I'm just saying, if the universe is infinite, there is a planet in which they have got squirrel creatures.
Isn't that just a kangaroo?
And they have evolved to be the primary things on the planet, and they are, you know, I mean, they'd have to be pretty big to make an emu feel small. They got 20-foot squirrels somewhere.
Welcome in, Celine.
It's not impossible, is what I'm saying. We had 85 months tier 3 subby from Spinatrap, who just includes good vibes. Thank you. 500 bits of Jet says, so Tuesday got the rejection email from Vegas due to experience, and yesterday Illinois hired internally. At least they both really liked me. Let's see how Iowa goes later today.
I really hate when that middle one happens, the Illinois one happens, because that happened to me for a teaching position.
Yeah.
The principal was like, I really like you and I want to hire you. He's like, but I have to hire internally because everyone on my staff will give me a hard time.
And, like, that sucks. And then also, in those instances, I kind of feel like you dodge a bullet, because if the rest of the staff is such people to feel that way, then you would be treated very much like an outsider.
Vagabond says, why offer the job publicly? Because they have to.
Yeah, it's... Ugh. Ugh. Anyway. Jackson Lee says, but when you are the internal person, it can be fun. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you've got the connection and it works out, that's good. And if you don't have the connection, and it basically feels like, but why even have this? My favorite one will always be when the person wanted your purse.
Yeah.
They were like, I see you've brought us a gift. And you were like, that's my purse. And they were like, oh. Have you brought us a little bribe? They work so well.
I did not get that job.
You didn't give your purse.
The person who got that job lasted less than a year.
Yeah, it's not too surprising. There's always people, when we tell a story, there's always people that haven't heard the story, but that is a real thing that happened when Mal was interviewing for teaching positions. The person that was interviewing them said, I see you've brought us a gift. It's just Mal's purse. And Mal was like,
I dodged that bullet too because that was the other art teacher.
Yeah. Anyway. Sometimes things don't work out and it's sad. And sometimes things don't work out and it's like, I guess that's probably fine, actually. Might have been worse off than when we started. We got 73 months from Throwdown. Thank you. And there's 2 arts in the queue. Take a look.
The squirrel.
That's the squirrel.
The squirrel.
That's a photo I took of the squirrel a few weeks back. And his tail's doing a little circle, and I loved it. I was like, "Oh my god, look at this little guy!"
It's a really good photo.
Thank you. I really like taking photos. East Coast, Yeast Coast. We make bread, baby, and what do we put on that bread? Hot sauce. I love how this just lives. I mean, you can tell how old it is just based on the
logo.
Yeah, just like, well, the logo and like the design of YouTube. Yeah, this was it was 21 hours ago. YouTube changed a lot in one day. Yeah, did Steven like his own post? Posted and to get the ball rolling, like. We got 300 bits from Rin the Halfling says, have extra good vibes for those who need them because my favorite women's hockey team won the Walter Cup last night.
Yay!
The women's version of the Stanley Cup on my birthday. Nice. Also, happy birthday. Happy belated birthday. It's a pretty good birthday present. If your team wins, especially if your team wins the big one. If every sport just called their big thing just the big one, then you would immediately know what we were talking about at all times.
4-0, nice.
That's not even close.
They swept it.
The big game. Okay, so I've got 2 things to talk about today.
I can leave.
You're involved.
No.
You are.
I have an email. It's an ad.
I'm glad we paused to let you check that. Good. That's good. So first things first. When we moved into this home, there were some questionable things in the house. Some decisions that the past owners made that were confusing. One of my favorites, of course, is that every single drawer in every single bathroom has dental floss wrapped around the screw on the inside of the drawer. That one's great. There is no less than 50 feet of dental floss wrapped around screws in our home. It's happy for emergencies. The
front of the cabinet, the handle, the screw that connects that there, the screw is too long. So instead of getting shorter screws, they just wrapped dental floss around the inside as a makeshift washer.
Yeah, they systematically went to every drawer in every bathroom and did that. Which the amount of time and dental floss it would take, you think would trigger your brain to be like, maybe I'll just replace the screws.
Well, Vagabond says something sounds like something the builder did. I bet the builder used the wrong screws, and then the previous owner, that's what they decided to do to...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I guarantee you that's it. There's a lot of things in the house that are very much builder grade, very much, you can tell that the builder was like, yeah, whatever. And I'm sure that that was how they dealt with it. And it's probably one of those things that they dealt with very soon after moving in, and then just never changed it. But for me, I'm like, this is insane. We haven't taken all the floss off, but we've taken most of it off.
What we need to do is we need to figure out what size screw we need, and then just order them in bulk.
Yeah.
We should take that screw to the store today.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
So what I did is, for some of them, I've just taken the knobs off.
Yeah.
Because, like, whatever. I can still open the drawer. I don't need the knob. But at some point, I'm going to get the screws.
The kitchen ones are all fine.
Yeah, it's only bathroom, so... Anyway, so, what was I talking about?
That was the first thing we did for the house. Or one of the things what the previous owner did that we
Oh,
liked.
okay, yeah, I was giving examples of that. Okay, so, one of the other things that has been... plaguing me is that the toilet seats in the house, and strangely, like, all of them, have been a little gross. For one, the toilet seats are the wrong color. The toilets are white. Every toilet seat in the house was...
Almond?
That is being very kind. They look slightly piss yellow in a way that's really off-putting.
Yeah.
Like, in my brain, I know it must just be a color choice, but every single one is just a little, like, it looks stained. They all look stained. So they've all been really gross. And it's not that they're not clean. I've cleaned them. They're clean. They just look...
Aged plastic? It might be too...
It feels like that. You know how whenever you have a Super Nintendo and certain parts of it will yellow? It's like that, except your toilet seat. And of course the ceramic bowl, everything else is like white. So, anyway, so that's always been like somewhat off-putting. Also, the seats have kind of like fallen apart a little bit. Like, some parts of them have like
the one in our
worn
bathroom,
away.
like there's those little things under the seat that hit the ceramic.
Yeah.
Those were broken.
Yeah, so some stuff was broken.
The hinge on one of them broke.
And also, when we moved into the home, 2 of the toilets had bidets, bad washlets.
Cold only.
Only cold, only fire hose, and just bad. Also, I don't know, and this might just be me, but there's an element that's, I don't know, kind of gross to me about using a bidet from, like, another person's used the bidet for, like, 10 years, and it's, like, it's just here. That might be an insane thing, but that's kind of how I feel. Maybe it's because it's not, like, a really good washlet.
It's just a bad washlet.
It's just a bad one, and I kind of don't trust it. Be Croaky, you're insane. Okay, I'll take that. Because I've been to Japan. I've been to friends' houses that have washlets. I don't have any problems there, but there's something about these that they feel jank, and I'm like...
Nemeril, that's what I was saying last night, a COVID-era bidet because of toilet paper shortage.
Yeah, that's what Mouse speculated. So anyway, they have also been kind of, like, cracked and broken, the bidets. Like, they're still connected to the toilets, but not well. Anyway, so a few days ago, we were looking at one of these toilet seats, and Mal's like, do we still have the spare toilet seat that's in our bathroom pantry?
Linen closet?
That's the word. And I was like, I think we do. And at some point, we went to replace toilet seats in a different home, and we had an extra toilet seat that I guess has moved with us
Yeah,
a
it
few
has.
times. And I went into the linen
It was
closet.
a nice one with the soft close too.
So I went into the linen closet, and it was there. It's boxed. It had never been opened. I was like, let's replace this. So we replaced it. And I was like, this is so much better.
It matches.
It matches, and it doesn't look like the color of pee. It does. Like, I know that this didn't happen, but it really does look like someone went into every bathroom
and stained them all yellow.
and just peed on the seat forever. And I know in my head, like, that's not what happened, but every time I see it, that's just what I think. I'm like, so no one knew that there's like a hole. He didn't know how the toilet worked. Anyway, so after we replaced that one, we were like, we should just replace.
Yeah, I was like, well, the one in our bathroom is broken too.
And they're all the color of pee.
Yeah.
I was like, so let's just replace them. And I happen to know the exact same model that I had, so they would all match. Mm-hmm. So we got some, and last night we went systematically through the house, and we replaced the toilet seats, and it's so much better. And those bidets, we removed the bidets, and we threw them away, because they were disgusting, and I did not like them. And now everything is great, except in order to put a bidet or a washlet on your toilet, you have to have a T-shaped pipe adapter.
Yeah.
And
Connector, adapter.
And, you know, we shut the water off for the 2 toilets that had the bidets, and we removed that. And for the one that was in our bathroom, trying to get it off of the
Bottom of the toilet.
the bottom of the toilet, but it comes, the way it works is the thing in that has the tank fill comes down out of the hole, and then that's where the thing connects. And that thing is plastic, which is great. So Mao was trying to get that off and couldn't, and I was like, let me try. So I was able to do it, and as I'm doing it, I have to hold the tank, the fill valve, with one hand, and then use channel locks on the other thing to make sure.
Like the tank is here.
Yeah, trying to like hold it so I can undo it, and as I'm doing that, this thing, because it's plastic and is connected to that, so desperately wants to turn, and I'm holding it, and then eventually I hear this very loud crack sound, and I'm like, all right. So the water was cut off. I undid it. I got it all off. We got rid of the tea thing. And then, you know, I'm like, let's put the thing back. So we plugged the water directly back into the thing. And we very slowly turn on the water to see what's going to happen. And it leaks. And I'm like, all right. Okay. And Mal was looking, she's like, yeah, it's the plastic bit that comes down out of the fill valve. And there's a few options here, right? There's a few options. Option 1 would be, I mean, you can always have the home warranty deal with it. It's more.
They may not.
They may not, but also that would be more. That's a more expensive option because you do have to pay. It's like $100 flat fee for someone to deal with it. Mm-hmm. Maybe that wouldn't be more expensive. The more reasonable option would just be to like go to Home Depot and get a fill valve.
Yeah.
And install it.
Yeah.
There's a third option.
Lunar knows.
There's actually a third option here. So, back in December, whenever we went to Wisconsin, we got a chance to visit Lindsay and see her wonderful home, and also meet her fiance, John, mm-hmm. who was a lovely individual and was also a relatively tall man. Mm-hmm. Not quite as tall as me, because no one on Earth has ever been taller than me, but still a pretty tall person. And one of the things that they showed off in their home, in the guest bathroom, was that the toilet was tall. And I saw it, and I could see it. I was like, this looks weird because it's such a tall toilet. Anyway, later that night, in typical Stephen George IBS fashion, I needed to use the toilet. So I went into that room, and immediately when I sat down, my brain went, oh my God, this is where the toilet is supposed to be. This is amazing. Like, my legs went straight. To give you an idea of something that I have lived with basically forever and have just come to accept as normal life, is that if you poop, your legs fall asleep. They just do. Every time you're done using the bathroom for number 2, you have to like get your balance as you get up because your legs, all the blood has to run back to them because they are asleep. This is just how pooping works. And everyone on Earth has experienced this because this is a typical thing. But as it turns out, no, that's because my legs are very long and the toilet is normal size. So if anyone has ever had that experience of like, every time I go to the bathroom, my legs fall asleep, maybe that's part of it. So anyway, it was life-changing. It was life-changing to the point of Steve Campos was there, Seven Steve, and I told Steve, because Steve's also tall, he's like 6'3", I was like, Steve, you have to at least sit on the toilet. You have to at least sit. It's incredible. So he went, he was like, wow, I didn't know that these things existed. I was like, right? This is crazy. So anyway, last night, after having spent an amount of time dealing with all these toilets and having my hand down in the tank of the toilet with the sedimentary gunk and my hand covered in God knows what. And that
it's the tank, not the bowl.
I know, but still weird black and brown stuff that I know is not...
Every tank is like that.
I know it's not excrement, but it's still my hand's in the toilet, so it's gross. As I'm sitting there, Mal goes, what if we go to the toilet? And I go, we don't need to get a toilet. What we need to do is get another fill valve. We can go to the store. She goes, yeah, but...
Yeah, he had gloves on, too.
Yeah. She goes, what if we got a tall toilet? And I looked at Mal and I said, what? She goes, what? You know, you tried that tall toilet and it was so nice. She's like, what if we replaced the toilet and got a tall toilet? And I cried. On the spot. I immediately cried.
Were you flirting with him?
So, then I messaged Lindsay, and I was like, Lindsay, do you happen to know the model of your toilet? She responded in 30 seconds. It was like, I do. Give me a second. And now, the new goal is one of these toilets in the house will be mine, and it will be a kingly throne for me to sit like a normal person, or Mal, if you want your legs to dangle.
I don't need my legs falling asleep for the other reason.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it would be bad for you. So, we need to ban talking about restrooms on the show. We'd have to end breakfast stream. It would. There's not enough other things to talk about.
So they didn't always make tall toilet.
Yeah.
When I was little, my grandfather, my dad's dad, needed help with the toilet because he couldn't like sit down and get off of it. So what they did is they used to buy like a pedestal, like a ceramic square that you installed first and then installed the toilet to that.
Ah, that makes sense.
Because they had that up when they lived in northern Wisconsin.
There's actually many, many sizes of toilets. And I didn't know this because I've never looked into toilets. Ever. I mean, I've looked like into, you know what I mean. And
into purchasing.
Into purchasing, yes. Thank you, Josh. I really appreciate this. So there's like normal toilet height, then there's like there's like a slightly lower height, then there's like children toilet. Then above normal height there's a slightly higher height, and then they go to tall toilet. And tall toilet is where you get into like between 19 and 21 inches tall, and that's where we're getting to the good stuff. So when I was at their house and she told me the model number, I looked it up, and that was a 19-inch tall toilet, which really changes the game. But they make them even taller. You know, they make them up to 21 inches. So I told Mal, I was like, today after breakfast stream, I would like to go sit on toilets in the store.
I don't know if you're going to be able to. We can try. I'm pretty sure they're up. We can see what they have. You have to go to the big and tall Home Depot.
Sappy, bring your magnet. Yeah, a lot of times they have things that are like, do not sit on these. And I want you to know that this is a time where I have chosen that the rules are bad, and I will sit on them, because I need to know. I need to know. So.
Lunar Pearl says, they're not at sit height for the exact reason why you'd think toilets on display should not be at sit height.
And before Steven is banned from Home Depot. The renegade sitter. That's
Chaz,
me.
you want to come with us?
I bet he doesn't. I bet this is an time where he's like, definitely not. Yeah, H intentionally omitted. So, yeah, so toilets, oh, here's the other part of this story. Toilets are actually not terribly expensive. Most toilets are like between like $200 and $300. There's another, toilets then can go into this weird range where they start getting into like hundreds of dollars. And I'm like, but why? It's just a toilet. But I was like, how much does it cost to have a toilet installed? Because, you know, I have never installed a toilet. It's not been on my, like, you know, list of life goals. As it turns out, getting a toilet installed costs as much as the toilet. And I was like, we could install a toilet. We could install a toilet. How hard could it be? How hard could it be? And I was looking it up because I was like, you know, how, for layperson, how difficult it is to install a toilet. And a lot of people are like, it's actually not that bad. And I'm like, good, because it seems like it's not that bad.
Immediately I was like, hey, Dad.
And he says, I think maybe a professional should do it. Luna says, you did break your current toilet. I choose to believe that I did not break my current toilet. I choose to believe that the last person that tightened that thing to infinity with channel locks made a choice, and it caused it to break when I undid it. Because the other toilet had the bidet where I had to undo the thing.
That one was not as bad.
That one was not as bad, and I finger tightened that.
And it didn't
leak. It didn't leak. So I'm like, I don't know that I'm to blame on this one. I think that was just, you know, like, did I break the toilet? I was the one touching the toilet when it broke. But I don't know that I'm the one to blame. Anyway, I think I could install a toilet.
I've helped my dad with it before. I don't think it's that hard.
How long do you get to blame the previous owner? Probably got another good year or two of blaming the previous owner for things, and then it's going to start being my fault. But I'm gonna rely heavily on those 2 years of, like, the last guy, who knows? So, am I capable of running beans? Yeah, I can do that. You can blame your previous owners for a decade? As long as it's something we haven't touched yet, yeah. It is technically something we haven't done. So, anyway, yeah, I'm excited about the prospect of getting tall toilet. That might be a life-changing experience over time. I do not want to pay to have it installed because I think that it's crazy that it costs the same amount as the toilet. And the toilet being $250, I'm like, cool, it's $250. A toilet being $600, I'm like, no, that's too much for a toilet. And it seems not that bad. From everything I've looked at, I'm like, I think that we could do this. You just gotta, like, get the other one out, which everything that I've read about it, people are like, it is 4 times messier and more gross than you think it will be. They're like, but it is easy. And I'm like, okay, I can deal with that. We be gross for a little while. Then we have a toilet.
Coffee.
It's like 5 screws. How hard can it be?
Right? You gotta put some caulk down on the ground and put it there. You connect some stuff. Cosmic says, for how often you're on it, I'd say hire the pro.
I mean, I'm not opposed to hiring a pro. I was gonna call the plumber we know and see what they would charge.
Well, I want it to be, I don't know what we're going to end up doing, but I want it to be known that I truly think that I could install this toilet. I believe that firmly. So, one of the things people were saying is, multiple people were like, the hardest thing is getting rid of the old toilet. And I was like, that seems not that bad. But also we have, like, we have trash pickup, and then also if there's a weird object, you can pay like $10 or $12 and they will take the weird object.
Yeah.
So if you have a strange thing that doesn't fit in the bin or shouldn't be in the bin,
Yeah, there's bulk collection for the city.
you can just be like, hello, this is where I live, I have a weird object. And they're like, okay, we're going to put $12 on your monthly bill. And you go, okay, and then it just goes away. So it seems pretty easy to
There's
get
some
rid
things
of the
they
toilet.
don't take. They don't take house paint unless it's like dried out.
That makes sense.
But you can take that to the landfill.
You also thought you could jump the ditch, so I don't have much faith in your judgment. I never attempted to jump the ditch, so we still don't know if I could have done it. Was it basically impossible? I mean, it's probably. Let me read some more alerts. There's more things to talk about. We got 28 months from Rock Cafes, 40 months from Portalbeard. 300 from Jetjet says, Stephen, when giving a house tour, he will guide guests to his toilet, rave about the toilet for 20 minutes, then declare, you can't use this toilet. I would definitely let people sit on it. Especially like any other tall people that came in the house, I'd be like, you have to know about this. They're keeping this from us. I swear to God, if we go to Home Depot or Lowe's and there aren't any tall toilets on display, that will be very upsetting. Because they have them online, but if they're just like, well, only normal toilet, I'd be like, what are you doing? Everyone knows what normal toilet feels like. You should be having the weird sizes up. Also, have you ever sat on a child's toilet? Like,
Yeah.
low, round. The toilet that is in the guest room, not the guest, but the guest bathroom. The guest bathroom at my parents' house is small toilet.
It's very low. It's a round bowl.
It is hard to, how do I word this? It's small. It's small. It's small. You have to kind of, you kind of have to choose. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, I'm trying to be kind. It's breakfast stream. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta choose what it's not just like, oh, it's either one. It's like you gotta scoot one way or another to decide.
Forward or back?
You gotta just scoot forward or back to decide what you're doing. It's not a normal toilet where like you can just you know what I mean. So anyway, that's what I grew up with, and I'm like large, you know. I'm very so like I just kind of got used to that, like. So I'm really looking forward to the idea of having a toilet like big. What was I saying? 300 bits from Slickduka says, this story reminds me of a couple weeks ago when I was trying to install a remote control receiver in my lighting fixture. I suddenly felt a heavy weight in my hand and the mount screws fell to the floor. I had the entire lighting fixture in my hand and was panicking trying to figure out what to do. I finally was able to get the wires disconnected. It was a good 5 minutes of chaos. I let an electrician figure all of it out. I mean, in fairness, I think we would probably avoid any electric stuff because it freaks both of us out.
It does freak both of us out.
And like I know, in my head, I know that like you just cut the power and you
red to red, white to white,
and you it's fine. Like I know that, and yet I'm still like it freaks me out.
Dieter's good at electrical. You don't say.
One would hope. One would hope Dieter knows a thing or two about wires. Electricity tastes like copper. Yeah,
Electricity is something my dad won't mess with either.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he'll do basic things like install a ceiling fan, but
I mean, so the thing is, like, I live here now.
Mm-hmm.
This is mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to know how to take care of some things. And it doesn't have to be all things, but like, there's stuff that you either know or have the confidence to jump into. I want to have the confidence to jump in with you, and for the things that you don't know, I'd like to maybe like, all right, maybe I can figure this out. Like maybe I could like dabble in some things sometimes. And maybe I'll get halfway through it and be like, I need to call an electrician. I don't know. Who knows? I'm just saying, we could do that toilet. We could do it. I think we could. I forget you've watched The Money Pit, so I understand the do-it-yourself apprehension. It's true. Dieter says it with a YouTube video and Home Depot, anything is possible.
Oh, my contractor friend said he gets a percentage off because he's a contractor at some places.
Yeah.
And he's like, if you need something from a place, let me know.
Okay. Has he gotten back to you about potential wall?
He has not gotten back to me about potential wall, but it's only been
2 days.
a day and a half.
Okay. All right.
I'll ask him next time I see him if he hasn't said anything.
We're thinking about doing a wall. Because when we moved in here, even like walking through it for the first time, we were like, eventually it would be nice to put a wall between the dining room / tabletop and the living room. And with us looking to paint the living room like soon, we were like, probably makes more sense to put the wall sooner, because the walls have to be painted also. And we have no idea what that costs.
Yeah, the curtain spot.
Yeah, where the curtains are that are separating the thing. So, Mal's contractor friend is hopefully going to give us like an actual estimate so we can figure that out. So, isn't there a place for that? Like a wall mart? Shai says, I wouldn't recommend something like drywall for beginners, but the toilet is a decent way to start. Yeah, no part of me thinks I can build a wall. I think I could replace a toilet, but when the idea of like, make wall happen, I'm like, I don't know how to do that.
I know the steps, but I don't know some of the minutia of it. It's like build frame, attach frame.
That's so much. There's
drywall, mud, prime, paint.
No, it's impossible. I look at that and I think I need someone here in overalls to do this, because and I don't own any overalls, which is one of the reasons I can't make it happen. Oh yes, 300 for Jet says, so shelf control. Are we done talking about DIY?
Yeah, we can be.
Do we have any other DIY stuff?
Did we do anything else to the house that was like...
Oh, I know one more thing we have to do.
I know a few things we have to do.
Remember the other night? I mentioned it on Tuesday. So it was Monday night? Yeah, Monday night in the middle of the night, 2 a.m., smoke alarm went off.
Oh, yeah, that.
Smoke alarm went off at 2 a.m., which is just fun. So we got up in a panic. Everything was fine. And then yesterday,
Right after your stream.
right after my stream, smoke alarm went off again. And still the same one, the one in your studio. So one of the things we need to do today is
Replace it.
Get rid of that. So gonna do that. I think that's it, though. I think that's all of the DIY stuff. So, JetChat asked about shelf control. Yeah, so, quick little update on the things that are coming up this week. Tomorrow, Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern on Mouse Channel, finishing the painting.
Yep.
Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Your hands are very warm.
Oh, it's because I've been touching coffee.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. Nintendo sent a copy of that over. They send me the code too early, and I forget every time. So they send me the code, and then I go to put the code into the eShop, and it goes, "You can't do this! This game's not out!" And I'm like, so I have to do it. It's out now, right? Like, it's out as of today. Okay, so I can do it now. So we're going to play that tomorrow. I think it's just going to be me.
Yes.
It's just going to be me because you're meeting with your family.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Okay.
I might join in at the end.
Yeah.
I don't know what the plan is.
Okay.
They don't know what the plan is.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe you'll join for like the last 30 or 60 minutes or something and see some of the Yoshi game. So we're gonna check out the Yoshi game. If you're curious about the Yoshi game, me too, because I don't know anything about it. So we'll figure that out tomorrow. And then Saturday is Shelf Control. And I feel like the Proton John intro theme shouldn't be in my playlist.
I kind of like it.
Huh. We'll leave it. Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, Shelf Control. And I'm very excited for Shelf Control. So many things are new. There is a completely new system for choosing games. You won't be using a spreadsheet anymore. You'll be able to actually see the game's box art. You'll be able to search for games. There's a search function. You'll be able to read about the games. It's great. That's great. That's the first thing, which is wonderful. Second thing,
Chaz did a bunch of stuff.
Chaz did a bunch of stuff. Chaz got stuff working that he couldn't actually get working, which...
He's magic.
He's magic. I don't know. There was stuff that he was like, this will be impossible because the Twitch API doesn't support it. And then he was like, I figured out a way. And I'm like, okay. And then the last thing I wanted to say is that since the first Shelf Control, I've been working on getting some things set up so there would be even more games to choose from. So I'm happy to announce that there is some new consoles to choose from for Shelf Control. And you might be saying, how many could it be? Is it one new console? No. It's not one new console. It's not two new consoles. It's not three. It's not four.
I know the answer.
It's not 5. It's not 6. It's not 7. It's not 8. It's not 9. There are 10 new consoles to choose from. If you're pedantic, it's 8, but it's 10. It's 10. Would you like to know what they are?
No.
Original Xbox. Now, I don't have an original Xbox set up, but I did go through the Xbox 360 compatibility list and took the Xbox games that do work on the 360 and added them to the list. So, not the entire Xbox library is available.
Is that one of the pedantic?
No, that's not one of the pedantic things. Although, I guess that is also a little pedantic. So, it should have been 16. Well, now there's more than 16 total. I don't know what the total number is. There's a lot. Anyway,
Xbox.
So Xbox. When I was in Myrtle Beach, I told Roland, I was like, Roland, I need a PSP Model 3000 because only the Model 2000 and 3000 have TV out, and I want to be able to play PSP games. And I got a Model 3000 from Roland, so now we can play PSP games. I have owned a PS TV for many years. I have never turned it on. I got it set up, so now we can play PS Vita games. There are not very many PS Vita games in my library. A lot of the games I have are sealed with the intention of staying sealed, so I actually only have like 3. But if I get any other ones, they could go in there too. So Vita is also an option. I counted out 10 yesterday, and it's going to be a struggle to make sure I get all of them. This is such a weird thing, but it went on sale, and I was like, for this price, I'm going to do this just so we have the ability. I got one of the new Atari systems, which connect with HDMI and allow you to plug up Atari 2600 and Atari 7800 games. Every Atari 2600 game is bad, but it's fine because now they are playable. So Atari 2600 and 7800 are playable. I do not have very many of those games, but I have a few on a shelf, and those are now playable. You can't wait to play Asteroids and be like, man, this is not the same as the arcade. That's 5. 6. And I talked about this, I think, briefly a while back. I bought the Analog Duo when it came out, which is a hybrid console from Analog that, I mean, emulates the PC Engine Duo, which plays TurboGrafx 16 and TurboGrafx CD games. And then I decided to never buy a game for any of those systems, because the problem is they're all incredibly expensive. I've never owned any of them. I don't have any Hue cards, I don't have any CD-ROMs, I don't have anything for the TurboGrafx. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy a flash cart. I'm gonna buy a flash cart. I'm never gonna collect for this system because one of the signs of growth in adulthood is making the decision not to bring more video games into the house. And I got the flash cart. I got it installed. I got everything set up. And I'm happy to announce that the entire library of TurboGrafx 16, the PC Engine equivalent, Super Graphics, CD-ROM, and TurboGrafx CD are there. That adds... it's so many. Full libraries. So that's fun. So that's 10. That's 10. The pedantic part is grouping CD-ROM and TurboGrafx CD and TurboGrafx 16 and PC Engine, because those are just US and Japanese equivalents, but it's fine. Rage shit. I zoomed out. What are we talking about? Yeah. Anyway, at this point, I'm fairly certain that every single game in the house is playable, with the exception of Japanese GameCube, which I gotta try and figure out. I have an Action Replay. I don't know if I have the version that will swap regions. I'll look into that. And then DS and 3DS. DS and 3DS. So, 5 months says modded Wii. I mean, I don't have a modded Wii.
Don't?
I have a modded Wii U. So the modded Wii U has a modded Wii, the software side on it, but the disc reader in a Wii U will not read GameCube discs. So if you had a modded Wii, that disc reader will read a GameCube disc. So my options are... I mean, if the Action Replay works, that would be ideal. Or to mod a Wii, or to get whatever, a Japanese GameCube. probably the worst choice of all of them. Anyway, so yeah, it's a lot. There's many games. And I didn't grow up with the TurboGrafx, and it's nice to feel like I can play those games. And they're all stupid expensive, and I'm like, I just don't want any part of this. I don't want to be like, oh boy, I bought a single video game, and it was $200. Perfect.
I agree, Genesis. If you're gonna buy a Japanese GameCube, you should go to Japan.
I mean, it's true.
There was a system we almost bought while we were there. What were we looking at?
Famicom Disk System.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And, like, I have mixed feelings about that, just because they break so easily and they need maintenance. The belt in them breaks. And I'm like, maybe at some point I'll do that. So, gotta pick and choose. Anyway, 1600 bits from Jet, who said should have been 16, but there's so many now that you can choose from. 300 bits from M Tappet says, hey Steven, I know I told Mao in chat last week, but you weren't here, but I got a full-time job in New Albany, Indiana, right across the river from Louisville. This means I have to move next week. Requesting lots of good vibes during this major transition. Good vibes. Having to move sucks. Having to move quickly sucks more. It's doable, but, just be kind to yourself.
Especially when it's like 6 months since you've moved and you're like, oh, we should replace toilet seats.
Be kind to yourself, and like, I mean that in a variety of ways. One of which is like, when you're moving, you might just need a tiny bit of happiness at some point because you're gonna be stressed out of your mind. Be like, hey, I'm allowed to just like get a milkshake.
Cookout.
I mean, that's some of it is that.
There's no cookout in India.
Also related to that, and I promise this will only take a second, I've never had a milkshake from Cookout until the other day. Mao and I had done something, we were like, oh, let's celebrate this minor accomplishment by getting a treat. And there's many places you can get a milkshake. Cookout is known for them. Like, half of their menu board is just...
Half of their menu board
Half of the menu board is just milkshake flavors. And I was like, let's go try that.
It's like, we got cherry. We have cherry chocolate chip. We have cherry mint. We have cherry peanut butter. And it's like, do we really have to put the combos on there?
Yeah, there is like 40 or 50 options. So I was like, yeah, let's try it. So we went
and the font is 5 pixels.
I got peanut butter fudge, I think?
Yeah.
Holy cow, it was good. I didn't know you could make peanut butter into a milkshake.
I worked at Culver's too long.
So okay. Well, I've never had a peanut butter milkshake. That was the first time I've had a peanut butter milkshake in my life. And I was like, oh my goodness gracious. Uh-oh, this is delicious. I want another one. But not like... I gotta wait till I have an accomplishment. If I install that toilet, I get a milkshake. Lunar, you're going back this weekend. No, I have to do something. I have to earn the milkshake. I gotta do something to earn the milkshake.
Install the toilet.
If I install the toilet, I get a milkshake. If I
had...
something else. You had what?
I had something this weekend. After I went mountain biking, and it was really hot. I dragged my friends to Culver's and I got a cooler.
Oh, okay. So you got yourself a treat.
Yeah, I did.
Is it if you install it or if you install it and it works? If I install it, I get a milkshake. If it works, I finish the milkshake. Radio Dread says, please film the toilet installing process. If we end up going that route, if we end up installing it ourselves, I think I would almost certainly document the process. And if it goes poorly, then I guess that's just a cautionary tale of like, oh no. But I think it would be okay. Finally, last thing for today, I know that Vagabond pinned it, but I released a vlog yesterday. And it's fun. It's a really fun vlog. Mal and I had went to the North Carolina Museum of Art, where they did a special exhibit where they had florists come in and make floral arrangements that are based on some of the art in the museum. And it's just really fascinating to see. Some of them are like very creative, and then other ones are like really like they tried very like hard 1-to-1 to match it. And they also made
There's 12. There was a few more, but there was a handful of them based on the Zodiac.
So it's 12 of the Zodiac.
Well, there was also like the major one outside, and then there was one inside that was kind of everything too.
Oh, okay. I didn't include the big one inside. I didn't show that one.
Okay.
I didn't have any good like.
That one was
shots of it.
hard.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen the vlog, go watch it. It's really cool. That swing set at the end is really neat because it's on the property of the art museum, and it's a musical swing set. So they each do different notes, but it's all like
different instruments and notes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sort of thing is really cool. Okay. I guess that's it.
That's it. I got an appointment.
Okay. And I gotta sit on some toilets.
Yeah.
So, tomorrow morning, painting. Tomorrow night, Yoshi. Saturday at 1, shelf control. Sunday at 1, Hades. And then that'll lead us into next week, and it'll be, I think, relatively normal next week. Okay. No dome today, because we've got some stuff that we have to go do. But thanks for being here. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you in the morning for painting.